My name is Simon. I'm from Cyrene, from North Africa. And today did not go how I thought it would. I felt like in this season of Passover, I should journey to Jerusalem. I should celebrate with my fellow brothers and sisters, that we should remember how God saved us with his mighty hand out of Egypt. And so I made the pilgrimage, I made the trek to Jerusalem, and I never expected what happened. It was a warm day. I made my way out from the country into the city. There was this crowd, this commotion. It was chaotic. There were people who were screaming, and people who were yelling, and they were angry, and yet there were people who were weeping. I wanted to see what was going on. So I got closer to what was happening. They were marching someone through the city, and I kind of made my way through the crowd, and there I saw him. This man they call Jesus. Jesus was in bad shape. Although they had put some purple robe around him, you could see the blood going through it. You could see the marks of him being beaten and whipped. You could see his flesh torn, the crown of thorns on his head pressed into his forehead, the blood streaking down his face. His eyes they were bruised. And this man, he's clearly exhausted from being beaten and whipped and mocked. I heard from some people there that they've had him on trial all night. And now they're going to crucify him. And so he's carrying this large cross on his back. And then he falls. Clearly, it's heavy. He can't lift it in his state. And so the Roman guards, they start saying something. I couldn't understand them. It was in Latin, but they grabbed me, they seized me, and they threw me at him. And they were like, to carry this. And I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to come and celebrate Passover. I just wanted to be a good Jew and go on my way. But there's no arguing with these soldiers. So I picked up this cross and I put it on my back. And there's Jesus. He stands up. He gazes back at me. And I'll never forget this look. I thought I'd see someone who was incredibly distraught, incredibly angry, one who wanted the whole world to burn, but there was this calmness in his eyes. And then he turned and he began to walk. I don't know if I could do what he was doing. If I was beaten and whipped and had to endure what he's endured, I don't know if I'd have the strength to keep taking one step after another. But I followed. He had this determination. He had this sense of purpose that kept driving him forward. Then he stopped. And there was this group of women who were weeping, lamenting over all of this. And Jesus, he says, don't weep for me. Weep for yourselves and for your children. And I don't know what he meant, because all I want to do is weep for him. And he says that it would be better blessed are the women who don't have children, for they're going to cry out to the mountains, come and fall on me. And I don't know what he meant. I don't know what Jesus was trying to say. It felt like some prophecy of destruction. Don't weep for Jesus. And so he turned and he kept walking. And I had this cross and I just kept following after him. The crowds continued to scream and shout and yell, but as I kept my focus and my gaze on Jesus, they began to subside. They began to go away. We made our way to Golgotha, the place of the skull. And when we got there, I laid the cross on the ground. And they took Jesus and they put him on the cross, and they took his wrist and they took a nail and they hammered the nail in his hand. And they took his other hand and they hammered there. And they put another one right through his feet. And he said, Father, forgive them. Forgive them. For they don't know what they're doing. That is the last thing that I would have said. Forgive them? No. May they burn. May they suffer. Clearly this man has done nothing wrong, and yet they drove nails in his body. And they picked up this cross and they hung him there. I couldn't keep my eyes off of Jesus on this cross. They continued to mock him. If you're really the Son of God, come down. Save yourself. They put the title, King of the Jews. And yet Jesus continued to speak words of love to his mother and to John. He said that it is finished. That he commits his spirit into God the Father's hands. And then he died. Hanging on a cross. This is for criminals. This is for people who are cursed. And yet there he hangs. When he died, this centurion cried out, "Surely this is the Son of God. Surely he was. He had to be. Who else would endure such terrible, awful things but God himself? But how did God die? How did he die? Why? Why did he die? My friends, I don't know. I don't know why he died. But the words that he spoke, maybe they can help us. They're words of love and of mercy and forgiveness. Maybe that's why he died. So that we could experience that too. So I don't know what to do. What do I do? I think I'll just go back to home to my boys, Alexander and Rufus, and I'm just going to tell them about this man, Jesus, who is the Son of God, who died on the cross for me, and for them, and for you. I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them.